Hi, I'm Jake.
And I am Tim, and we have what is known as the Indiana Jones Bible. No, just kidding.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is
Dun, dun,
actually
dun.
based off of Jonathan Edwards' Bible, which is really cool. This is the ESV, and it is an interleaved journaling Bible. Now, this could be kind of annoying, but it's so cool, it's hard to be annoyed by it.
It's a leather strap. Wow, how could that be annoying?
And
It's awesome.
Cowhide. Look at this thing. Is that not the most manly Bible cover you've ever seen in your life?
Okay, wait. So we got to talk about this. Smooth.
Yes.
Baby butt smooth. Rugged. Very rugged.
I think if Star Wars had Bibles, Chewbacca would carry this one.
What is this?
Yeah, that is a Pigma Micron, which we'll go ahead and get out. This is the black one.
Look at you and your fancy pen.
Right. So we're going to review these things just to see how they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the beginning. I'm going to write in this thing. And you remember how traumatizing it was for me to take the ribbons out.
Okay, wait a second. So what is this? You called it an interleaved journaling Bible.
Well, basically it has the Bible on one page, blank on the other. So every other page is blank.
So that's why it's so thick. I mean, look at that.
Right, yeah, this is a massive boy right here. And you notice most of your journaling Bibles, they will have your scripture, and it's like really tiny print, and it has this thick gap right here on each side of the page.
Right.
And it's lined. Now, this isn't lined, which is a little disappointing, but it also gives you a little bit of freedom to, you could write sermon outlines in this. You could do whatever.
I've seen people doodle and draw pictures and stuff like this.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this guy here. This is the Drylighter Max.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
this is set up sort of like a crayon or crown, depending on where you're from.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Crayon,
you said that wrong both ways.
Crayon, crayon, crown. You pick. Okay? So anyhow, let's go ahead and go to Genesis 1:26.
Okay.
Or actually, let us make man in our image. So I'm going to highlight that with this guy. Let us make man in our image.
So it's not a wet highlighter. That is similar to, like you had said, a hard...
There is absolutely zero bleed through.
Okay.
Zero. Like not one bit. So this bad boy here, if you don't mind the fact that it's not real bright, this thing is top notch. Now I've used all these. Now this one is super interesting because this one is a gel. Check that out. It looks like lipstick, but it's not what it is.
That was really...
You totally just filmed that too.
Yeah, that was...
Okay, so basically, let's see how this goes. It glides just like a highlighter, and it's got beautiful...
So it almost looks like a glue stick.
Right. So let's check out the bleed through on the back. So this is the gel stick smooth glide put out by Dixon's. Mm-hmm. And on the back, you see there is absolutely no bleed through. Now, the only disadvantage of this thing is it stays kind of gummy.
Wonder for how long.
I don't know, but I've not really tested. So let's use this guy here. Okay, this is the Z-Bright, which is one of the most popular.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and do it. Now, this is actually a marker, and it is wet. And we're going to do the next line like that. Mm-hmm. Let's see how that does.
So essentially what we're going to be able to do...
Check that out.
...is come back to this in a month or so.
Yeah, there is absolutely no... Now, look, the little...
I see orange.
Yeah, that little pinkish orangish thing, it does kind of have bleed through, but it's not bleed through like it's not bleeding through the page. It's ghosting.
Right.
Basically. Now we're going to do this guy.
Uh-oh.
Yep. All right, so here you have the blue Z-Bright again.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to quickly do that. And we're going to look at the other side, and we have...
Oh, it's ugly.
Yeah.
It's
so
ugly.
This one says won't bleed through, and the lie detector has determined that's a lie.
I'm going to pick that up. I'm pretty sure that was expensive.
Yeah, so anyhow, there you have it. If you want the least amount, then you want this guy here. There is absolutely nothing.
Okay, so that's is that the dry lighter?
Yeah. This guy actually did pretty good, so I guess the light color is what helps it. So if you want to use the Z-Bright in the yellow, it actually did pretty well. There's really the blue didn't bleed through, it's just ghosting. So your darker colors are going to ghost like the text does. There's no avoiding that.
So I think it bears to be mentioned that this particular paper, this isn't your normal thin, tissuey,
Right. This
translucent
is a little thicker,
Bible
a little
paper.
more creamy in color.
Right. So if you were to use these particular highlighters on a normal Bible,
Oh, one thing I forgot to point out with this guy.
yeah,
That's pretty cool. Ready, set, boop.
Oh, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny on one side.
So then you can underline, like let's say I wanted to, and God bless them. I could just say, now you can see this one is very hard to see because it's yellow. The one I tossed would probably be a little better, but I don't like him very much, the one I threw, because he's too dark and he bleeds through the page. But it's really, you can't really call that bleed through.
No, when you're talking like bleed through, you're talking like a wet,
right, globby,
distinct image that comes all the way through.
So I'm sorry, blue one that I said was a lie. I guess it was the truth. Yeah, I'm down here on my knees because I can't. But anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and write. I'm just gonna say we are made in God's.
This is a 0.05
image.
Pigma Micron. As you can see, the Pastor Tim in his natural environment, writing with his left hand, which looks like garbage.
6 and 27 looks beautiful.
However, he continues to write.
All right, so there we go. We were made in God's image. Now let's check the other side, and well, there's ghosting.
That is not even slightly annoying.
But no bleed through.
Yeah.
So you could write on both sides, and it wouldn't be a big deal. So really, that's pretty much the size of this thing. There's not a whole lot. So what I would recommend is that you get the dry lighter or your lighter color Z-Bright.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's absolutely no bleed through. This one kind of sits weird with me because it leaves that gummy tacky. Let's go back and check and see if it's still that way. Yeah, it's still kind of, it's like it's never going to dry up.
Yeah.
So
it feels like there is a thin film of something.
Right, like a gel, which is what it's called. So this I would put in the category of that. We're going to just say no go on that.
Oh, I'm grabbing that too.
Yeah, so these three is where I would go. The Pigma Micron, and what did you say this one was? The 0.5?
It's either 0.5 or 0.05. It's a very popular, very...
You can get these things at Michael's. Right now they're on sale. You can get a coupon, download it. You can get them for $2. All right, any color that you want. This thing is about $2, and I think this one was a little closer to $3.
Right.
But you could probably get them online cheaper. But that's what I recommend in your journaling Bible. Amazing stuff. But anyhow, the rest of it is just Bible every other page. You will notice no matter where I turn, there's a blank page. It is impossible to avoid a blank page.
Right.
All the way through until you get to the very end. There is no concordance because that is not the purpose of this thing. It ends at Revelation at the very end. And you have...
it looks like a read-through in a year is what I saw at the back.
Yeah. So you have your reading plan. And you've got some weights and measures. So there's your study element. That's it. That's all you get. And you get your read through the Bible in a year. And then that is the size of it.
Okay. So this is a very large Bible.
Yes.
Oh, and here is probably my favorite feature.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it for?
Yeah, you just stick your ink pen in there and ba-boom.
Look at that. So for you hardcore journalers out there, this is exactly what you want and nothing more.
Right, and it's hefty, it's weighty. This is not going to be your EDC, as some people call it, or your everyday carry.
Then again, you're not an avid journaler.
Yeah, I'm not an avid journaler, but I definitely am a note taker.
Right.
Which is what this is. It's a note taker's Bible.
So this is something that you take with you. You sit down, listen to a sermon, and then note away as much as you want because you got plenty of room.
And I'm a pastor. I'm a lead pastor, senior pastor, whatever you want to call it. So I preach most of the time here. However,
lift with your legs.
There's a lot of times I don't preach, and when I don't preach, I typically will bring several Bibles plus a notebook.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is this is going to replace my notebook and probably at least one of my Bibles that I take with me. I always take 4 translations. And the reason I do that is to compare.
So we got a ribbon in here.
Yep, and I didn't pull it out.
Uh-oh.
Can I do it from out here?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, you're going to fail.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're failing right now.
No, I'm not.
You're not even.
I'm winning.
Not even barely.
Look at that. There, bam. All right, ribbons out.
Ribbons out. Okay. After it's all said and done, this is a very interesting Bible for being so huge.
Right. Well, and one minor flaw.
Uh-oh.
Is right there a little bit of the glue. So this is definitely a glued binding. It's spilled over. I would consider it minor. It's definitely not a deal breaker for me. I don't know what you can get these for.
I believe it's a sewn binding, but they'll end up putting glue in there.
Well, this is obviously glued to something. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, pretty cool. I like it. It's probably one of the favorite ones that we've gotten.
Well, at least the most useful that we've seen in quite some time.
Right.
But it's got its specific applications and that's pretty much it.
So dry lighter.
Yeah, dry lighter.
And Z-Brite and Pigma Micron, you just got a free review. You're welcome.
What
if you happen to find this and want to send us your entire fleet, go for it. Anyhow.
And I'll be much nicer than he is.
Life is always sweeter when you start off your day. Or it's so much sweeter. We don't know. With a heaping helping of PT&J. Somebody tell us what our slogan is.
You just made that so awkward.
But I gave both versions.
All right.
Bye.
I'm shutting this off.
Bye.
It's just too awkward.